Hello everyone and welcome to our next episode of Raven Creek Park, and today we are building a very simple habitat for our beloved reindeers from the Arctic pack, one of the first DLCs we got for this game. But because this is very simple and mostly doesn't need much explanation or anything, I want to talk to you about the new DLC that is coming on the 21st of June. When you're watching this video, if you watch this later, it might already be out. But yeah, the conservation pack DLC is coming to Planet Zoo in around a week, and it was announced a week ago. And I want to talk a little bit about this pack. It's already announced now for a week or so, and I had my fair bit of time to think about it and might make my opinion about it. And for everyone who isn't up to date, we are getting a new DLC on the 21st of June, as I just said, with 5 new animals. This being the Mongolian Przewalski's horse, the Amur leopard, the Siamang, the biggest gibbon, and the scimitar horned oryx and antelope, as well as the axolotl for exhibit animal. And alongside this, 150 new items and props for us to build with, alongside the normal 1.0 update. And I have to say, now that I had a few days to really think about what it means and what it is, I really like this pack. It's a solid pack, and it brings some of the animals to this game that we wished for a long time, especially the Przewalski horse and the leopard. The leopard was the only big cat that we missed in this game, and now that we have it, we have all the big cats basically in this game. And I'm really happy that they chose this one over maybe the African leopard, because they are more common in zoos from what I heard. The African leopard is fairly rare, so it wouldn't be surprising if Frontier just went again the way of giving us a rare animal like they did with the proboscis monkey. But I have to say, this is a very solid pack, a couple of good choices in there. Also with the gibbon that finally brings us brachiation in this game, a new way of climbing with this in the enrichment piece. And but I'm more happy about, it's a little bit weird maybe, but I'm really more happy about the pieces that they bring us, because this pack contains the long wanted and the really needed backstage pieces. So we get a couple of water hoses, of buckets, of crates and everything, of water tanks, and just roundabout also tools and such, so like hose and forks and everything. So roundabout a lot of stuff, backstage props that you see in a zoo. When you have a small look into the backstage area of some zoos, you see these around tools that you need to maintain a zoo, and until now the game really was lacking these tools, and so I'm really happy that they now decided to give them to us. And I was about to say, the update as well brings us a couple of great changes. If I have a look into what the update actually tells us what we will give, we get stuff like, let me say, I have to search it, totally prepared. Now we get a couple of education stations for our guests, so stuff like height measurement stations, how high are you compared to a giraffe, for example, a soundboard station where you can listen to different animal tracks, or a paw print station where you can look at, okay, what paw prints makes this animal, and so on. So really stuff that are essential for a zoo and are really a favorite of kids when they visit a zoo. And these things are really cool additions. Same with sniffing behavior for animals, so they interact with their habitat a bit more. The new chorus behavior for Siamang and the wolves, so they make some musicals together, you can say it like this. And as well as a small habitat gate, so we finally get a new type of habitat gate, this being that small one. So all about, it doesn't bring us huge new things, this update, but it brings us additions to the game that were longly needed, that might not be amazingly big and new and shiny, but stuff that adds to the game already, and yeah, improves on it a lot, and I'm really happy about it. So I have to say, the conservation DLC alongside this update is a really solid one. It goes in the right direction of not, yeah, adding enormously much to the game which we already have, but improving on what we have and giving us some animals that we really needed from the beginning. And it's very positive to see that. It's very positive to see that Frontier improves on these things, that they really listen to the players' opinion, to the players' wishes, and try to incorporate that in their updates. So I'm really happy, and I'm really seeing a bright future for the future updates and maybe DLCs that we get, so that these will also improve on these and give us what we want to have in this game. For me personally, once okay, the pieces are phenomenal. I have to basically update most of my backstage areas, at least for partially, and I think we will do this in the video or in the live streams that we have every Friday. If you didn't know this, we have a live stream every Friday over on Twitch, where we also build in this to do small things here and there. But yeah, I will definitely have to update all my my backstage areas, or even build more ones now that I have all the pieces and don't need to rely on the workshop ones, which are amazing creators out there that created all these things that we now get in the game as one piece that they created out of millions and thousands of smaller pieces. So this will definitely reduce the piece count for such it reduces the piece count really much for us. And the only thing I'm a little bit worried, and this is only personally, this has nothing to do with the updated DLC itself. This one is great and will give a lot of players new stuff to play with. But personally, for me, for this series here, for Raven Creek, this creates a little bit of a problem. Because as you might know, if you have followed this series for a while now, this is a zoo about, it's a small animal park about North American and some European species. It's not a huge elaborate zoo with tigers, elephants, giraffes, a big savanna region or anything. And when we got the wetlands DLC, it was already a bit of a stretch to have this wetlands area that you saw in the couple last videos in the background, to have this area in this zoo, but I felt like the animals in there were such great additions. I had to incorporate them, and we didn't even place the Nile Leshwe and the water buffalo because I couldn't really, I couldn't find a place for them in this temperate, in this climate, and also in the frame of the zoo, in the dimensions of this zoo. And now we get a pack with amazing animals that are really new and that are really cool, but my problem is, how do I incorporate them into my zoo? Especially stuff like the Scimitar Oryx or the Siamang. Because I want to have them in my zoo, because I want to feature them, because they're awesome. I want to get them, but I can't really tell, or I can't figure out for myself how I want to incorporate them in this zoo, in the setting of the zoo, in the marketing of the zoo, or in the budget of the zoo, basically, not marketing, budget of the zoo, how I can incorporate them. I already played with the idea of having the Przewalski horse. I think this is something we could potentially have in our yet to be built grassland prairie area to get alongside the bison and the pronghorn. I think there we could potentially have the Przewalski's horse. So most likely I will, when the DLC is out next week, I will most likely build for them in this zoo. But the other ones, like the like I said, the Siamang and the Scimitar Oryx, I have no idea how to incorporate them. The Amur leopard, maybe, yes. maybe, but it's already a stretch. It's already a big stretch to incorporate this in this zoo, to have place it in this zoo. And I have the bad feeling that I can't really place them here. Also because otherwise the dimensions of the zoo would skyrocket if I incorporate every new animal from every DLC. I played with the idea of having a small Asia area, so like wild Asia, where we have maybe only 3 species, 3 or 4 species, like the Siamang, the leopard, maybe even the Przewalski horse would be there. But yeah, it's like a small area where we have 3 species or so, like a small plaza with 3 habitats where we would have them. But I'm not too sure about these either at the moment. I really have to think about and go in. Maybe we talk about this on Friday in the stream, how I would incorporate them. And my question is, would you like to see these animals, so these new DLC animals in Raven Creek in this series? Or what also would be a possibility, I make own small animal park, conservation park, whatever it would be. I would have to a little bit of brainstorming about a small extra zoo series where we feature these new animals, and then it would only be for habitat species and 1 exhibit. So maybe a small mini series, so to say, for these new animals. But really, I want to have your opinion on that. What you guys think would be the best to do here? Either incorporate them in Raven Creek, or make a small mini series for these animals, and you basically skip on them in this zoo. I mean, it doesn't mean they are bad. It doesn't mean it's a bad DLC. It just means in the setting that I have for this zoo, they don't fit. And I would have loved to get, if we would have get an American or European species like the Mufflon or Pierre Davis deer, maybe even a deer species. I would have been even easier to. I would have been able to incorporate these easier into this zoo than the ones we have now. It feels like Frontier with this new DLCs always doesn't give me the animals I need, but which everyone else needs. But I'm sitting here and thinking, yeah, okay, what do I do with these animals? But yeah, this I think sums it up for my little thoughts about this DLC. I'm really happy. We will stream the DLC next week, of course, when it launches. We will stream the DLC on Twitch. And we will do a giveaway again, like always when a new DLC launches. We will do a giveaway for all followers of my Twitch channel, so you have the chance to win the DLC for yourself if you want to. But yeah, I'm really happy. I'm really looking forward to the pieces, and also to the plans what we get with this DLC, because they showed what they already showed. There are a lot of wildflowers, a lot of plants we can incorporate in this zoo. So even if we don't have the animals in the zoo, we will definitely have the pieces and the plants in this zoo. So at least there's this. But yeah, I would like to hear your opinion about this. And with that, I would say we wrap it up for this week. You will see the rest of this speed build here, and then the real-time part where I show everything you just saw in detail. And then I hope I see you next week with the DLC launch. And until then, have a great time. I see you at the end of the video. Goodbye. So, and here we are now in the real-time part, and we are right in the middle of our forest area. To the left there is the wolf, viewing the wolf close encounter, and there you can already see them running. And straight ahead, if we follow the main path, on the right side there isn't much anything, apart from a small look to... Hello? I don't ask. But anyway, if we go further down this path, we see our reindeers, our domesticated reindeers, I should say. I didn't say it in the video, but these are domesticated reindeers. This is also why this fence is fairly low compared to the fellow deers over there, because they are used to humans, they are raised here. And yeah, it's a very simple habitat. I also took the building from the fallow deer that you can see in the background. I took it and placed it here basically again, as it is already made for hoof stock. And we have a group of five females and one male. This is the big one in the background. And yeah, it is pretty, as I said, it's pretty simple. They are the bears from last episode. Yeah, and if you come here, you have a little bit of a rain cover here, and also this fence is also a little bit lower than the other ones, because this would be an opportunity for the guests to feed the reindeers. I still have to add some sort of feeding shop here, these things where you can buy animal food, or you would buy them at the entrance, and then you can come here, you can wait. Gameplay Zoo, they are so safe. You can wait until a reindeer comes close here, and you could feed them. Of course, you still have to watch your hands so that they don't bite. But yeah, this would be the idea behind it. And if you go, if you hop over the fence, yes, if you go in, you can see it's very simple. It's not much done. It's slightly inspired by a habitat. It's slightly inspired by a habitat from Rostock Zoo, where they also have a very simple reindeer pen with not much vegetation, because the reindeers ate all of it. Some trees around, some are a little bit safe, so the reindeers don't damage the bark. But yeah, otherwise, we also can separate, if we put on this lock here, put between these poles, we could separate the male from the females in this extra pen here. So the male would be separated if it needs to, if there are maybe offspring here, and if he's too aggressive, there he is, our big male. He could be brought into this pen and kept there. But at the moment it's not breeding season, so they are very chill and they can stay together and have a bigger pen. But yeah, not much else to say here. Pretty simple. We also have a smaller path here, so you can, if I speed up a little bit, you can also look at the males if they would be in this pen from here, and this will become something for the future, another smaller habitat for some small critters that live in the trees. Some people might guess what this could be. But yeah, if you zoom out, we have the reindeer pen here. There's the wolf pen, there's the bears, and there will be the lynx. And then also this forest area would be finished. But this will take still take some time, because the DLC is arriving next week. So we have to do another break on this area. But yeah, more of that next week. And I hope you enjoyed it so far. Have a great day. Take care of yourself and of your family. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, maybe leave a like and maybe even a subscription. And I see you next week with the next video. So until then, goodbye everyone, have a great time, and bye bye. Bye bye.